All right. What's going on, everyone? How are you? We are here on a new episode of the Juan Solo Show with your host, me, Juan D. Klauser. This is episode 255 of this great and wonderful show that I do by myself. What's up? How are you? Hope you're doing swell, doing well. This is the first morning without TikTok, everyone. It was so funny. So today is Sunday, the 19th of January, 2025 of our Lord and Savior. And so I woke up this morning. It was actually last night at like 11:20. Like I watched the Chiefs game. Game was over. Had some edibles. Passed out in my chair. Woke up. I fell asleep for like 4 hours. Woke up. And then I noticed that, TikTok was unavailable. Went online and people were freaking the fuck out. Apparently, it's going to get restored, so who knows? It's going to be completely fine again. We're going to go back to this world. I'm assuming, guys. I don't know. I I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed because I never put any effort into that. What's the word, into that app. Most of my energy is in the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that kind of realm. Never saw the grass, even though I should have, even though it'd be super easy. All I had to do is just basically just post up my podcast. That's all I had to do, and just like my little shorts and stuff. And so I should have done. If it comes back, okay, this is what I'll say. I'll say it now. I'll say it here. If it comes back, I will start using it more. I will actually put up a whole thing. I'll put up a profile and then my name, links to things, all that stuff, and I will just literally screen record all of my podcasts, and then I will just do it. Because it's like at this point, like, who cares? What they're spying on me? Who, everything spies on us. But yeah, hope you're doing well. I don't know. It's weird. So I was, I'm on some dating apps, right? Like everyone is, and I am like, it's cool, and I match with women, and like 9 times out of 10, I'm like not really that. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, and every once in a while I will be like, okay, this girl's cool. Let's talk. Maybe we can meet up and get to know each other a little better. I'm supposed to do that today. God, I feel like such an asshole. I can't about to tell the story. Yeah, I was supposed to do that, and then I got ready. I was like, you know what I'll do is because I thought if I get ready in time, I'll do the podcast first, and then I'll go have breakfast with this person. And then what happened was that like I started driving there. I didn't get ready in time to do the podcast. I'm like, whatever, you'll just do the podcast when you get back. And I started driving there, and I got like 10 minutes out, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. And at that point, I was like, it was like 3 minutes until we were supposed to actually meet me and this person, and I never got their phone number. I never asked for the phone number. We just, through the app, made a place, and then like I went on the app and I saw that the person said like I'm here, and I just unmatched him, and I just moved on with my life. And now I'm just like, what the fuck to this person now, which is really weird, incredibly odd. I don't really. I feel like I should care, and I should care a little bit, but I'm just like, why? This is it. This is what I don't know. It was so stupid. I shouldn't have done that. I just shouldn't have done it. And now I feel like, because I really believe in karma heart. I feel like now, like, what this is gonna do is gonna like set me back like eight to 12 months of me. Like, I probably won't go on a date for 8 months now, because like the universe is going to like, I'm going to meet someone I want to go on a date with, but then they're going to do the exact same thing to me what I just did. So, and that's how I feel like it is, because so I don't know if you believe in, you probably don't believe in Santeria, but I have family in Honduras that is super hardcore into the Santeria thing. So like my numbers, and some aunts are like, John, that like you're a sponge, like you can easily like you're very like you have a very your soul absorbs a lot, so you have to be careful with the things you do, and if you act stupid, like it's very easy for you to start acting like that, because like that's just how your numbers are. That's how it says that like you will be. So you have to be careful with certain things, and like it's really weird because I really do believe in certain numbers for me that give me luck, and if I see them, I associate them with like connections with me, which is funny because it's just what we do as humans. We just do it just because we're always trying to connect things with things. This is what we are. It's who we are. It's silly. It's so funny. But yeah, I'm like, that's so stupid, so dumb. I shouldn't have done that. But it also shows that like I'm probably just not ready to be going on dates with people. I shouldn't be dating anybody. I need to be focused on this. I think it's probably one of those things like the universe is like, you need to focus on doing like the podcasting and your writing, because as soon as I get done with this, of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write, going to get my words in for the day. Super easy. A couple days this week to get 1,000 words. But I would say about 85% of this week was very hard to get 1,000 words. But what's weird is crazy is like that doing that though. It's like I'm like, okay, if I keep on doing this, I can pick myself up. I can pick up the momentum a little bit, a little more, and I know I can do this, and I can get way better at writing. I'm in like it's so funny because it's kind of like golf. There's a moment like right before this, like all the snow happened, which is weird too. Is I think there's tee times today, but I'm like, is there? I figured there'd still be snow on the course, but maybe what they do is they blow it all off. Actually, to tell you the truth, they probably do that. They probably have a snow blower that blows it all off. It's not like they don't have. I don't know. That's actually I'm kind of curious. Let's look one more time, because when I looked, it was like 9 o'clock. Because every day I always look to see what like their tea times are and what the prices are. It's just a silly little thing that I do. Shallow Springs, do. Let's go. We're doing it. We're checking the tea times. Public course. Yeah, that's what I thought. No tea time. There's currently no tea times today. That's what I figured. I'm like, why is there tea times? Why is it showing tea times? But yeah, crazy. Yeah, but right now I feel like I'm in a spot right now where I am with my writing. I'm being able to connect ideas and thoughts and like taking better versions of like what coming from my head to my fingers to the keyboard. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's one of those things because like the last couple months I haven't entered in any writing contests, so I also feel kind of lazy in that sense. Because like, John, what's the point of writing all these stories and spending all this time writing if you're not going to like at least like send it out to places? Because at least sending out to places, it's like a benchmark, and it shows you where you're standing in the scheme of things. Because I'm not saying I don't think I'm the greatest at writer. I really don't. I just think I'm consistent. I'm consistent with anything. Like I've gotten significantly better at this. I think I've gotten better at this. I feel like maybe 4 months ago, I feel like I did a little bit of a breakthrough performance-wise, being able to talk better and just My flow is becoming better and better and better and better and better and better. So I don't know. Maybe these are just all things with me, and that you have to. And what do they say? I heard this therapist the other day. It's like you can't rely on other people to bring you satisfaction for yourself. You have to have a level of self-love, and if you don't have that self-love, you'll never be able to move on to the next step. The next step is then finding love outside thyself, and finding love in a partner. And you have to be able to love yourself a little bit more. And I think maybe that's the key thing to me. I don't. A little of me doesn't love myself enough, doesn't give myself enough respect, and doesn't believe in myself enough, which has always been the biggest. What's the word? That's always been the biggest thing. Like even in like grade school, high school, college, teachers have always been like, you're always like, there's literally nothing in your way other than yourself. Like, you'll always be the only thing that gets in your way. If you do a lot of shit, if you get a lot of work done, it's because you do it. If you don't get a lot of stuff, it's not because like you can't do it. It's because you don't choose to do it. So it's just one of those things. And I feel like I'm also getting fucking incredibly muscular too. I'm like up to like I'm like a solid 200 pounds, and I am just I feel great in that sense too, because I feel so much more confident. That's so silly, and it's like I feel more confident as a man being a solid 200 pounds, because I don't feel like this little shrimp. And plus too, I think it's either if you're really tall or you have like muscles, like people don't fuck with you in the sense they don't like talk. They don't talk back to you. They don't talk at you. They talk to you. They talk with you. They try to communicate with you. I think it's a lot better of a thing. But also like it's just a lot of extra testosterone too that I don't probably need. But anyway, I think where are we at? We're like, yeah, I'm like 15 minutes into this damn fucking thing. Actually, no, what am I at? Because I'm looking at this clock. This clock's not right. This is the clock I need to be looking at. So what? I'm like, we have 18 minutes left. So anyway, so you guys want to see the video of the week? All right, I guess we should probably do that. Here we go. Oh. Hold on, you guys are gonna hear something. All right, okay. I'm not for sure. I feel like I may have done this video, but I may have not. I don't know. Anyway, here we go.
My life, I had been rejected off of Shark Tank for the third time for an ideal for a chain of adult novelty barns for Christian married couples. It was called Solomon's Boudoir, and it was ahead of its time. But when that happened, it was just like the bottom fell out of my life. And I remember I was down to where I would go down to Taco Bell, roll out of bed about 11:30. I'd go down to Taco Bell, and I'd gather up them sauces down there. And I'd take it back to my house. I had me a pair of shears, and I would cut the tops off them sauces. I would drink them sauces, and that was my work for the entire day. And I remember there was a night where I had drank me some sauce. I'd lay down. As I laid down, I seen a vision of the most beautiful man ever was. His eyes was like pure honey sparkles, and he looked straight at me, and I'll never forget this. He looked at me and said, and I looked right back at him, and I said, and at that point, everything changed.
Welcome to The John Show with your hosts, John Doogie Clouser.
I actually love that. I love that video so much. I think that's one of the funniest little videos in the entire world. I don't know why. It just tickles me so much. It just tickles me so much. But yeah. So yeah, it's just life, guys. Don't invite someone on a date and then just bail. Don't do that. It's fucking rude. It's fucking dumb. But at least not happened to me before, and you doing it to someone else, and then it's just so stupid. You shouldn't have done it. But anyway, so I guess we should probably do Craigslist misconnections, right? So if you're not familiar with Craigslist misconnections, it is a website, or it is a sub part to a website. It's on Craigslist. If you're not familiar with Craigslist, you can go there and get you can find a roommate. You can possibly bang some random girl, get some coffee, drink a whole bottle of wine, and bang her. Oh God, that was wild. Anyway, or possibly you can just find a refrigerator. Anyway, this is a great place. Anyway, they have a sub place, kind of like Reddit, where it's called Craigslist, where people go and Craigslist, where they call misconnections, where they go and they had a connection with somebody, or they had an interaction with somebody, and they didn't ask them for the phone number. They wanted to talk to them more, and this is where they go and they write a little thing, and hopefully that person reads it. What we are really trying to do is we're just trying to help pass along this information and possibly help, connect two souls. That's how I look at it. Anyway, here we go. First one Jan, the accountant I used to watch you smoke outside your office. Manhattan, Kansas. This is weird. Marinum, Kansas. Okay. I had an office in the same complex as you in the summer of 2020. I would see you outside in front smoking. I couldn't look away. I don't know if you remember me, a smug, younger than you, early 40s, white, balding, dad bod, but still cute, I think, anyway, or anyhow. I don't know. I don't think we ever exchanged more than a nod or a wave, but I want you badly. Think about you. Still think about you. See, this is the thing. That's why, okay, guys, men, people, women, anyone, humans, anyone. This is the why. This is the reason. Like, okay. There was someone at my job. Same thing. Never, ever really exchange any more than a nod. Really. We worked together for 2 years. Eventually, it was like I got to the point. I thought this woman was so attractive, so beautiful in so many different ways. Even when she was interacting with other people, I started talking to other people, and I'm like, if maybe I could just not be a pussy, and we could talk. We could have this great relationship. And well, I eventually just built the courage, and I was like, you know what? I just gotta ask her. I just gotta ask her for her phone number. She said no because she had a boyfriend. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't know. Doesn't matter. That's besides the point. But the thing is, like, I moved on. I'm able to move on. You moved the fuck on. So you're not sitting here 5 years later, in 2025, writing this thing about this woman that you should have talked to 5 years ago, because you should have known the answer to this 5 years ago. And I know it sucks, but things like, what's the thing I learned about it? The one thing I learned about it the most, the biggest thing I learned about that situation, what I learned was the fact it's like, the sky doesn't fall, the world doesn't fall apart. In retrospect, the world doesn't really give a fuck. Even if she sort of say yes, and that girl would have given me her phone number, the world still wouldn't have given a shit. And what, we would have probably talked for a couple of days. Maybe would have had a weird, stumbling session of intercourse, and then we've been done. What, that would have been it? Weird. But yeah, just ask. Just ask for the number. Who cares? You'll know. You'll learn. Biggest thing, you'll gain confidence, because you'll realize, oh, it's okay. It's just to ask. Anyway, moving on. Next one. Olathe Lanes East 11. Name started with a K. Olathe. I chatted with you for a few minutes at Olathe Lanes East on New Year's. You were there with your daughter, and I there with my son. I had an issue with my hand, so we needed quicker than we left. We had an issue with his hand, so we needed quicker than we planned. I hoped to get your contact information. Hopefully you see this. If so, let me know what I said to you. Okay. Great. Awesome. Okay. Okay, next one. Woman at Bonner Spring. Okay, I still have like 10 minutes. I'm looking up at the thing up here. I'm like, these times don't match. Anyway, the clock on the camera off versus the one here. Anyway, woman at Walmart in Bonner Springs, long shot, Bonner Springs, Kansas. You sexy female in Walmart had your daughter with you. I walked by and say SAE you looked me up and down. I was checking you out as well. You smiled at me, then later on was in same aisle as you was speaking to a woman about finding someone, and you made the innuendo about me. I again made eye contact, was checking out the aisle, and also you this a long shot. I'd love to reconnect. Hit me up, please. Would love to connect. That was all one sentence. That was all one thought. Great. Sometimes I'm like, I can't be that bad of a reader. I'm not the greatest of reader, and I'll admit that. First step is admitting I'm not that great of a reader out loud. I hated it growing up. Hated it. Also, English was not my first language during that time growing up, and I was still trying to learn English as much as like trying to forget all these things in Spanish and just trying to fucking live in America. Honestly, it was so fucking crazy. If I could just redo it again, I would have gotten such better grades. I would be so fucking freaked out. Very nervous. Anyway, so I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I can't be that bad of a reader. And it's like, no, it's like sometimes these people just can't write. They just can't write because writing's hard. Writing's hard. You'll see in a second when I make a video. Anyway, and again, why am I on a time constraint? It's my podcast. I can do what the fuck I want. Next one. Rock, Chalk, Rec Center. You, a beautiful man, probably in your late 20s or 30s. There's a bit between your late 20s or late 30s. Anyway, we're at the Rock, Chalk, Rec Center last night wearing a purple Heskel, a purple Heskel hoodie. We made eye contact a few times. I wish I had brave enough to approach you. If this was not you, you're just a random guy looking for a hookup. Do not contact me. I will not respond. I will not email back. Okay, so this is a guy and a guy. Okay, I think so. I think that's what it is, a guy and a guy. This makes sense now, because when I first read it, or I only read some of it, I only saw the little bit. Like, if there's a random guy for a hookup, I will not respond. I thought it was a guy trying to connect with a girl, and he didn't want just random gay guys hitting on him, saying like, hey, we can hook up. And then I'm like, that's a guy who wants. In my mind, I was like, that's a guy who will suck dick. And I'm like, oh, he does suck dick. He wants to suck a dick. Anyway, missing friend. She would be born in the 70s or 80s. Big time difference. It's fucking 20 years, guys. It's like 1970 to 1989. That's the year I was born. So like that's a big difference. If I were to meet someone who's born in 1970, right from who I am right now, like we'd be way two different people in way two different parts of life. So words are important. Anyway, missing friend. She would be born in the 70s or 80s. Where did she go? I hope she sees this soon. If not, her, a female from the era would be just fine. A female from that era would be just fine. So you just want to fuck. You just want to fuck, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. Oh my God. It's hilarious. Anyway, guys, that was Craigslist Misconnections. You're about to hear a fucking... I wonder if you're about to hear that pop. But, yeah, guys, it's fucking wild. Yeah, so I guess we should, do videos of the week now? Yeah? You guys want to do that? All right. Here we go.
That's how I travel as a COVID conscious person. First, I use Covixel nasal spray before going to the airport, and I mask in the Uber, of course, and I always mask in the airport. When I get on the plane, I wipe down as much as I can with Clorox wipes, and I use my Pure Enrichment air purifier for the plane. I wait a little bit to eat after everyone else gets their snacks, and I plan to do as much of my activities outside as possible. When I get home, I wear a mask and test a few days in a row, and
This is 2025 and people are still doing this shit. I wasn't even doing this shit during the process of it. I just was not being around people, and it gave me an excuse not to be around people, and I was like, fucking thank God. But this is what I mean. That shit 5 years later broke people. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't take much to break fucking people. Great. Hence why I just fucking said when I was I was nervous as hell growing up because I was from a third world country in America, I was just trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So this person was barely hanging on to begin with, and then COVID happened and just lost it. Just fucking lost it. Anyway, so here's the next one.
I was at a Korean barbecue with my friend, and he asked me to draw if Luigi killed that CEO. And I got sucked into this whole backstory about his mental process leading up to the event. I never actually got to the event because this all took too long, so I don't know. But I can tell you that he got isolated in his thinking and started having these repetitive thoughts. and then would loop internally about like basically asking himself, is my thinking correct? Yes, it's correct. But what about this? Yes, it's correct. What about this? Yes, it's correct. And then he got just socially isolated and wrapped up in his own mind. And then he found some solution, and he was like obsessively like thought, all about the same thing. So that's what I know about that.
This is someone having a manic episode right in front of you. Isn't that wild? It's wild to see. It's incredibly wild to see. Very wild to see. This is, okay. Palate cleanse.
How Midwest do you think Missouri is?
It's definitely in the Midwest. Now, I will have to say they've adopted some Southern mentality, but I think that they're still the Midwest. They really love to drink alcohol down there. They love hunting.
It's almost a bridge between the Midwest and the South. And you kind of realize that we're not so different in a lot of ways. It's kind of the land where, like, the bless your heart blends with the watch out for deer. You know?
It's a bless your deer area.
Yes, exactly. Bless.
Really was what Missouri is. It's so true. Very true. All right, so this next one is just like, it's just, there's no words, it's just a video. It's just hilarious to watch. I've seen this video maybe 45 times, and I still don't know if it's a real or a fake video. Because if it's like scripted, brilliant. Had to have probably taken several takes to finally get everyone to look natural. Because I'm sure the first couple times was just like, some people looked real, some people looked fake, some people like didn't. Like there's times where like nothing looked good, and then there's sometimes like, oh, it was like almost perfect. But what I think this is like a catch a predator thing. I think that guy was, I think he was a predator, and he just freaked out and was like running around. Anyway, next video.
To help women give birth easily, and it's based on a patent filed in 1963. First, the pregnant woman is strapped onto the table. When labor begins, the table spins at a calculated speed, theoretically using centrifugal force to assist in delivering the baby. This force is intended to assist the uterus in pushing the baby out naturally by supplementing the mother's own efforts. At the base of the rotating table, a soft cushioned receptacle or net is installed to catch the baby safely once it is expelled. The system features a bell that signals when the baby has been delivered, especially in case medical personnel are momentarily distracted.
Wild. This was actually a real theory that they wanted to do to have people give birth. Wild, right? So it's such a wild thing. Anyway, so this is the next one. This one's very important. Anyway, this is the last video. Here you go.
There's no writer's block. There's no writer's block. There's lazy, there's scared, but there's no writer's block. Just sit down and realize you're mediocre and you're going to have to put a lot of effort into this to make it good. Mm-hmm. That's what writing is.
So true. And that's what I'm meaning. So that's the mindset that I have to, that's the mindset I go through. So I'm like, oh God, every day. It's every day. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up. I wake up and the first thing I'm like, oh, I got it right today. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. And I'm like, this is something you're gonna have to do the rest of your life, man. Like you're gonna be doing this till the day you die. Wild. You know, and then people are gonna ask me, so how do you feel like you're gonna die? I'm like, well, the day I die, the next day I won't have to write. I mean, the next day I probably will still have to write. That's gonna be my that's my thought on writing. Like if I ever become like a famous writer, it's like people are like, well, what's your thoughts on writing? Well, my thoughts on writing is you have to write every day, and even that the first day after you die, you still have to write that day too. It's like it's just marvelous. This is what you have to do. It is just what you have to do. But the thing is, like, it's so fucking rewarding because I'm in a place right now where I'm like, I went from here and I moved up a little bit. I feel emotionally, and because of that, it drives you to want to do more. And so, but the only way you get that is that you have to do it more and more. And you have to deal with the bullshit of like of several weeks of it sucking, months sucking, a long time of like why am I writing this story? The story's so fucking dumb. And then you finish it. And my problem though is I like to write a story and then not finish, and it's done, and then I have to go back and edit it. That's the big thing I have to go to. But it's like I never have anything enough that I like to know. But the reason why I don't edit and finish it is because I have no deadline for something, because I haven't done anything in the last couple of months. So like I've written like 6 new stories, but they're just like first drafts. There's no depthness. There's no like sitting down and like, okay, now, because that's the hardest part. Like you think it's hard to like write and come up with the idea. Yeah, hard. What's even harder is then day 44 of writing the story. And you're like, where the fuck am I going to take this character? Where else can I go with this little plot? So like you start thinking like, okay, you wrinkle out a spot here in the first paragraph. You wrinkle a spot out here in this paragraph. You wrinkle out the very end of it. And then you get to like, there's like, and there's just like this little clunky part from like act 2 to act 3. And like, it's clunky as shit. How can I adjust it? And you're just doing stuff. You're living your life, and then it hits, and you figure out like, oh, that's how I do it. That's how I make this better. Oh, shit. Okay. Sorry. If you guys can tell, I love it. I love golf. I love writing. I love filmmaking. I can talk about it. Anyway, you guys got this far. Like, comment, and subscribe. I need to go get some food because the Rams game starts pretty soon. Anyway, yeah. So, hope if you guys, maybe by the time I see you guys again, TikTok will be back. I'll be kind of disappointed that we just allowed this to happen so quickly, that we didn't even hold our gun. The American government didn't hold our feet to the fire. Like, no, you ain't getting this back. You ain't getting this one back. You ain't getting it back, baby. Anyway, yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment of what you missed the most about TikTok. No, anyway, again, this singer that I found, really good. He makes these really like political point of view folk songs. His name's on the top. Follow him on Instagram. He's amazing. He's so freaking talented. I'm only doing this, hopefully I don't ever get a copyright. And if he ever sees it, he might just like want to watch my videos versus being like, why the fuck is he like using my music? I'm promoting you. I'm trying to promote you. Anyway, be safe. Watch out for deer. Bye.
And I'll tell you a tale where the wildfires glow and the government fails. 40,000 acres burnt and it's growing. 25 folks dead, more that we ain't knowing. And the question it raises on everyone's minds is how and why, oh why. Fox says it's lesbians, well that clears it up. I thought it's climate change, but fair enough. Good God, California's got the drought and bad government planning. The winds of Santa Ana, oh the taxes are high, and the pastures are plenty, where the fires are hot, and the hydrants are empty. Incompetence and greed and budget cuts is sure to stir you up some real bad luck. State Farm looked into its crystal ball and said, no, honey, and they plumb withdrawn. Some fires on purpose, some on accident. We can crawl down that rabbit hole here in a bit, but prayers to the people that lost their homes or a portion of their portfolio. Is this a globalist plot for economic collapse, or is BlackRock clearing off a spot on the map? Our brains are small and our problems are large. I think it's safer to say nobody's in charge.